I'd like to welcome you to our annual event for the ending of elder abuse. One of the things we all remember, and it was a sign that I would see when I first was elected in office, it says, "The person who took care of me, I now have to take care of them." And it's a tribute to those who we have raised us, who are our, took care of us, whether it's grandparents, aunts or uncles, moms or dad, are now becoming our elders and the ones we have to take care of. And more we find that society has maybe taken a downturn, but it's horrible to think that what happens to our elder. And a lot of people don't really know they're being taken advantage of. They don't know they're being abused, whether it's by a family member, a community member, or even a service. But unfortunately, these things happen, and bringing the awareness to elder abuse is critical. On behalf of myself and the residents of the county, we stand here today to show our support in bringing about an end to elder abuse. But more importantly, the day-to-day activities of each one of our county services is critically important to protect those who protected us when we were growing up. At this time, I'd like to turn the microphone over to Marianne Spanos, our Director for Office of the Aging Services.
Thank you, PJ, and thank you all for being here today. I want to talk a little bit about why we do World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, because everything starts with awareness. This is a problem that has been in the shadows for too long, and it was established almost 18 years ago in 2006. And I've really seen the dial move on awareness in those times. We've had the beefing up at the federal level. We now have an Elder Justice Coalition. We have the beefing up of Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and all that they do to combat abuse. We have more awareness at the local level, and we developed an MDT team to really come together as a community and solve problems for local people who are abused. But more importantly, we want to bring attention to this because we need to bring attention for our whole society to be able to put more resources to it. Our elected officials are here, and they are the ones who are making decisions about where we should spend our money to help people. But also, as I said, it's something that people feel they're alone at. We need to bring attention for the community at large, so they're not afraid if they're a victim or if they see something, that they can come to somebody and trust that it will be taken care of. So many people say, I don't want to report abuse because I'm really not sure if abuse is happening. But that's what Office for the Aging and Adult Protection, the two center points of combating abuse are all about. We are a confidential service. We know that people don't know whether abuse is happening or not. That's our job. Our job is to go in and look at the situation, and many times it's just people in crisis who need to be connected to programs and services. So we're there to help put those services in place and help them live their best life. But also, I think you're going to hear some statistics about how much elder abuse is underreported, and we don't ever want older adults or somebody in the community to feel shy about reporting that or feel alone. Too many people feel, especially with financial exploitation, oh, I am so dumb that this happened to me. My neighbor came home from Florida and said she was scammed out of $10,000 this past winter. And it happens. She's a very highly educated woman, teacher, and it can happen whether you're highly educated or haven't finished high school. It can happen whether you're, from no matter what walks of life. This happens to everybody, and we've got to bring that out of the shadows, get people to report it so that we can bring more resources to the table and hopefully restore those golden years for many of our older adults. So I want to bring to the microphone one of our key partners. Many people, part of elder abuse is self-neglect. And as people are living older and older, sometimes their brains are not working as they should. and they may be having difficulty thinking and doing skills, and that leads to self-neglect. So our partners at the Alzheimer's Association really help us come together and take care of those individuals and their caregivers who can be struggling. So Claire Corwin, would you come to the microphone?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for having me today. As a representative of the Alzheimer's Association, I would be remiss to not share some statistics with you. And as I think about World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, I really want to shine a light on this particular facet of our population that may be more vulnerable as they start to age and exhibit symptoms of Alzheimer's or other types of dementia. Globally, there are almost 50 million people living with a form of dementia. In the United States, there are 7 million people living with Alzheimer's alone. And in New York State, there's almost 500,000 people who are living with Alzheimer's disease. If we think about those numbers and we look at our state, we look at our country, the way that we work with older adults, and we think about elder abuse and how to prevent that, we have to acknowledge the difficulty that someone with Alzheimer's disease or dementia might face and the susceptibility that they would be open to when it comes to financial exploitation, elder abuse, neglect, all of these things that could happen for someone who can't advocate for themselves. So I urge you, if you don't know the signs and the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease or dementia, to turn to our office to ask questions, to become more educated, and to understand how we can better support those people who are living with dementia of any kind. Our office covers all 8 counties of Western New York, including Chautauqua, of course. Everything we do is free. We have safety services. We will sit down and work with a family on how to dementia-proof the home, to keep that person safe, to keep them feeling secure and loved, and make sure that that connection is still open as they progress throughout the disease and continue on this journey with their family and their loved ones. We have a 1-800 number if anyone ever has questions. It is staffed 24/7. You can call them at 3 a.m. You can call them on Christmas. Doesn't matter to me because there's always someone there. So that's going to be 1-800-272-3900. And I will have the pleasure of turning over the mic to Mike Lee from the Center for Elder Law and Justice. Thank you.
By coming together, we can work to prevent elder abuse and neglect. Through robust support services and dedicated community resources,